What's up, everybody? JVille Sports here with my daily sports picks video, another late-ish video, but not as late as I've been doing. We do have a few early games today. Just wanted to get a video out here. But again, welcome. It's March 1st. Welcome to the new month, one of my favorite months with March Madness, of course. I'll be doing some videos around that pretty soon here, so can't wait for the brackets to come out, and we'll be tackling that. Let's recap yesterday. We had two 4-team parlays. One was a very risky one. We had 4 spreads. Let's see, we had the Pacers -5. They actually lost to Atlanta, so very disappointing loss there. We had the Oklahoma City Thunder. They did win, but they only won by 1. Went into overtime against Dallas. They really struggled there on the road. So they won but did not cover. We had Butler -2.5 against St. John's on the road. They lost the game as well. So very tough. That one wasn't too surprising. St. John's doesn't have very many wins this year, but the wins that they do have, very impressive. So I don't know what's been going on with them. They were dealing with some injuries earlier in the year, but they lost a lot of games to some very bad teams. So puzzling team St. John's is. Then we had Tennessee Tech -5 against Edwardsville. They did cover the spread, so we had 1 out of 4. But most importantly, our main bet of the day was a 4-team money line parlay. Could have made it 5, should have made it 5, but we had the Raptors and Rockets in the NBA both winning. Never really in doubt there. We had Xavier and Kentucky in college basketball. Same thing. They were never really in doubt of losing. So we had 4 easy money lines. It paid more than even money. 300 paid 345. So we'll take that every day. 4 easy money lines paying more than even money. You gotta love that. I mentioned we could have threw in the Warriors. It would have paid out even more, and the Warriors did end up winning that game. So could have made it 5, but still, a win is a win. Better safe than sorry. So let's make it 2 straight winning days in a row. We're gonna have a really good March. I really know it. It happens every year. March is one of my favorite months and best months, so let's make it happen. So today we're actually going to do the same thing. I'm going to try to hit that 4-team spread parlay again. It pays out really nicely, and then of course we'll have our backup main bet of the day. So let's get to it. So the 4 spreads that I'm going with, only one in the NBA. I like the Brooklyn Nets. Typically I don't bet with the Nets. They're not very good, and they're on the road, but they're playing Sacramento Kings, and they're just terrible. Shumpert, who they traded for, is not playing. Brooklyn Nets have gotten healthy over the past few weeks and over the All-Star break. So, and even before that, I mean, Brooklyn, even though they're not very good record-wise, they're one of the bad teams that are really competitive. They're in a lot of games. They've beaten some good teams. So I like Brooklyn on the road here against Sacramento. It's only -2, so they're favored for a reason. I'm taking them. So Brooklyn is my only NBA pick today. And then in college basketball, NC State is on the road, or is facing Georgia Tech. It's -2. They're on the road. Georgia Tech has lost one of their best players. NC State is a tournament team, so they're looking to improve their seeding, build some momentum. So I like NC State to win over Georgia Tech on the road. We have Middle Tennessee State, one of the best teams in college basketball that nobody talks about because of the conference that they're in. They're playing Western Kentucky, who is right behind them. They are second place in the conference, 1 game back. So if they win this game, they'll be tied. So I like Middle Tennessee State to show who is boss. They're at home, -4. I'll take it. And lastly, we have Monmouth. They are also at home against St. Peter's. This is, actually, they're not at home. This is the first round of the tournament. So I think they're playing in New York, I want to say. But Monmouth against St. Peter's. Monmouth they lost one of their best players, Seaborn, for most of the year. He's back now. So that directly affects their record, which is really bad. Monmouth over the past few years, one of the more exciting teams to watch. So they had a down year this year, not going to make the tournament unless they can somehow win this conference tournament. But I like them to come away with the first round win over St. Peter's. They're not very good. So it's -3. So those are my 4 spreads for today. Again, we have Brooklyn Nets -2, NC State -2, Middle Tennessee State -4, Monmouth -3, and I'll put these in the comment section below. And then let's get to our main bet, because chances are that 4-team parlay is not going to come through, but we hope it does. But just in case it doesn't, I have a 5-team moneyline parlay that I'm putting a lot on. I think it's going to come through just like yesterday's. It's going to be all college basketball. We have an early-ish game. We have Michigan they're not on the road. It's the tournament game against Iowa. I keep wanting to say that. Michigan against Iowa. Iowa has an advantage because they just played, beating... Who did they beat? Illinois? I think they beat Illinois. So usually the team that plays or that doesn't have the bye has an advantage. Kind of works that way in the NFL too. Those teams with the first round bye, you know, they come out sluggish, and sometimes they lose against the team that had to play wild card weekend. So kind of the same thing here in college basketball. Michigan State had a bye, but they haven't played. They haven't had a long layoff, so I don't think they'll be too rusty here. They're a lot better than Iowa. So Michigan, I love them. Cincinnati's on the road against Tulane. Shouldn't have any contest here. Cincinnati needs one more win to secure the conference. So they're still playing for something, trying to hold off Wichita State. So I love what Cincinnati to beat Tulane. They're on the road. Oregon, another road team against Washington State, probably the worst team in the Pac-12. Oregon is trying to get into the tournament. They cannot afford any slip-ups, especially against a bad team. Oregon against Washington State on the road should win that game. Arizona State, another team, must-win game here. They were securely in the NCAA tournament. Now they're on the bubble. They cannot lose at home to Cal. Should be a blowout. I think they'll win by 20 because they don't want to have any doubt that they are going to make the tournament. So ASU at home, my team, they're going to take care of business today. Lastly, we have Wichita State, another road team against UCF. UCF has nothing to play for until the tournament starts. Wichita State, like I said, trying to catch Cincinnati. They're going to try to win this game in case Cincinnati slips up. So all 5 of those teams I love should win. This is another one that pays just over even money. 300 will pay 305. So again, that's Michigan against Iowa, Cincinnati over Tulane, Oregon over Washington State, Arizona State over Cal, and then Wichita State over UCF. Those are my 5 money lines that I'm going with. That is the bet of the day today, and we'll see what happens. So again, thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Good luck with whatever picks you decide to go with today. I really hope you have a lot of success today and the rest of this month. But like I said, we'll see what happens. Thank you again for joining me today, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.